Hey again everybody, City of StarCraft here for another StarCraft 2 commentary. And there's another map that was sent to me, and if you want to send your own, of course it's sidsreplays@gmail.com. By all means, send them to me. I'll do my best to cast them, regardless if they're the best or not, just because, you know, sometimes it's fun to just see your video up on YouTube, and maybe you can learn something from it, and you can see, you know, with me commentating, I'm not necessarily the best, like I've said, but give my opinions on why people are doing certain things and what I suggest maybe going a little bit differently to prevent any type of loss or win. In this particular location, or this particular game I should say, it appears that it is a Terran versus Zerg. We do have, of course, that it is, sorry for a second there was a little music going on in the background, but it is a Terran versus Zerg map. And it is, of course, in the top right corner we do have War playing as the purple Terran. And down the bottom left corner we do have Zerg playing as the red Zerg. Now again, this map is Xel'Naga Caverns. I apologize for most of my replays being on Xel'Naga Caverns. It's just that it appears that most people actually seem to be playing on Xel'Naga Caverns. Interesting though here, it looks like War is deciding not to wall off at his ramp here. Instead, he's going to be putting his supply depot, probably his buildings, back in the back for some reason. Now, you got to be careful on this. Again, going up against a Zerg player, they can easily get up in your base, kill your workers. Just a few Zerglings is all you really need. So, yeah, and it looks like his barracks is going to be in the middle of his base. He's not even putting it back here or back here to block his workers. So, Zerg can possibly use this to his advantage and sneak in here and get him a couple kills. It does appear that he is doing the geyser trick here, trying to steal the gas of the Zerg or Terran player, I should say. Usually, what you'll find is the Zerg player constantly just cancels this right before it's built and remakes it, cancels, remakes it, cancels, remakes it, just so it lasts long enough to get a good enough scout here. Now it appears that War is building 2 Raxes in his base, and it does appear that he's actually doing a proxy barracks down here at the Zerg's expansion. So yeah, it's not necessarily the most conventional when it comes to blocking off against the Zerg, but having this Rax right here, if it goes unscouted, you know, you're going to have reinforcements right here, but it appears that maybe Zerg might come over here and scout it. He hasn't seen it yet. Unfortunately, and he doesn't see that there's a bunker going down right here as well. Here's actually that War has queued up a bunker instead of actually bring down another, SCV to build one. So, but if this bunker goes unchecked, that's going to be bad news for Zerg. Oh, it does appear that the bunker is going to be checked, and Zerglings are coming here, trying to take out the SCV, doing it, taking the SCV off, trying to destroy the bunker now, but it appears that there is one Marine out. And War definitely needs to just run that Marine away because, as you can see, he doesn't even get a single kill. Now, a good thing about Terran, as you can easily see, they are able to lift their buildings off, fly away, so he wasn't able to lose, or he didn't lose that building, but resources lost. As you can see, 200 resources worth of units lost. Partially was that bunker because he didn't cancel it, and that little Marine. Now, there is some shooting going on somewhere over here. It appears that they are trying to take down this extractor so that Zerg will no longer have any means to actually see what's going on up here. So, sizable Marine army here. We do have, looks like 6 Marines moving out. Definitely go kill this Zergling off, go to the watchtower, get some vision, and see what's going on. It also appears that this other barracks is rallying a Marine up somewhere. Or it looks like he's manually controlling that Marine. Nope, he moved it right over here. Now there is 7 Marines here. Going to be end up pushing out here. Zerg is going to try to take out this one Marine with 3 Zerglings, but definitely needs to pull them back because there's way too many Marines here. And of course, Marine Micro is great. Same time though, Zerg is getting a couple Banelings here. Banelings are great against Marines just because of the fact that the splash damage, there's a lot of damage, but will he be morphed out in time? Definitely War needs to move in right now and destroy these Banelings, but Banelings did get up and going. And now War, I would say, is behind because all he has is a few Marines here. And, of course, Zerg does have the Banelings. Now, I will give War some credit. He's doing a good job spreading his units out, so even if the Banelings do get in, they might end up killing 1 or 2 Marines at a time. And the splash damage doesn't just completely annihilate all of it. Now War is moving in with a couple of Marines right here, trying to do exactly that and get a couple Banelings to blow themselves up. But it appears that Zerg now is going to try to move out here. As you can see, the great spread of the Terran player, and as you can see, that completely destroys all of the units that Zerg has. Now, like I said, we'll give War great props for that, spreading his units out, getting a nice concave. And he might have lost just 1 or 2 units at a time, but the Zerg player lost just about everything he had. So really, at this point in time, War is far ahead, but he definitely needs to move out right now and maybe lock down this expansion. The longer he sits back and waits, the more of an army that the Zerg player is going to be able to get and be able to counter this. Now it appears that Zerg might actually just try to sneak past all of the units and go straight into the main at the same time. War is microing 1 or 2 Marines at a time, moving them up. I do like this play, especially going up against Banelings. He's got a nice concave, but the thing about it is the supply depot is down. And as I was talking about earlier, the Zerglings are now in the main base, possibly going to kill a lot of workers. But as you can see, there is 1 Marine over here trying to work on this. At the same time, there's a lot of Banelings being morphed in. But at the same time, almost all the workers are being destroyed up here in the main base for War. It looks like the Zerg player is deciding to move in here. He has a few Zerglings in here. The Queen's actually getting in on the action. She definitely needs to pull that back because the Queen is possibly going to go down. And now we have 9 Marines left unchecked in the base. But unfortunately for the Terran player, he lost a lot of workers here. It looks like he's actually lost 15 workers. But he possibly is going to be locking down this expansion. Zerglings are coming over here. The Zerglings are actually going to end up engaging the Marines. The Marines definitely need to attack the Zerglings instead of attacking the hatchery here. And Terran player definitely is going to hold, but not for much longer. More Zerglings are streaming in, and that will definitely be enough to clean that particular amount out. Now, as you can see, the Zerglings are going to actually bypass this barracks and possibly go straight into the expansion over here, trying to do continue to do worker harassment, continue to do damage like this, while this second set of Zerglings is going to be attacking the barracks right here. Now, of course, those Marines, their days were numbered. This SCV definitely is going down. And a bad time to transfer workers, as right as these workers are being transferred down, the Zerglings are coming up here and destroying them as well. So, yeah, the Terran player does have 2 bases, but unfortunately he's only mining off of 1, and really only has 12 harvesters to do that. This amount of Zerglings definitely should be able to take out that amount of Marines. Even with good micro, the Zerglings will eventually surround, as you can see, and just destroy them. So, definitely what War needs to do is probably pull his command center back, turn it into an orbital command, start getting his economy up and going, because he is so far behind the harvester count, 11 to 26 at this point. And it appears that Zerg is now going to try to do a Baneling bust through the supply depots here. This would be very deadly for the Terran player. Again, that's one thing you got to worry about, you know, not putting robust buildings like barracks or factories up front. Unfortunately, against a Baneling attack, it's really not going to do much. Now, don't use the Banelings on there. No. Oh, that's probably a little too many Banelings on there. But all 3 supply depots go down, and all the Marines go down accordingly. And of course, that's the cue for the Zerglings to come in here and attack. And at this point in time, there's almost nothing our Terran player can do, unfortunately. He's trying to get probably some Hellions up, and there, of course, there goes the good game. Basically, what this boils down to is possibly, you know, not walling off properly right here, and allowing the Zerglings to counterattack when he moved in. And lost a lot of workers there, so he couldn't keep resupplying. I did like his great spread on his Marines here, so the Banelings didn't do as much damage as they could. But he probably could have moved in here a little bit sooner and destroyed that. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit from it. What the do's and don'ts, especially against playing against a Zerg player on such a small map. So, look forward to the next one, guys.